welcome to another Team Clueless Battle Report. We're in Nick's loft today. Say hi, Nick.
Hello.
And we are playing another free-player game. So it's myself, Nick, and Sai over here. We are using the nice new Necron Codex. We've got some Blood Angels and we've got some smelly old Orks over there that Leah's helping Nick play. She is very good at the rolling dice, so we'll see how we go. So we start at the table. You've probably, well, maybe have seen our free-player rules before. I'll just quickly go over them in a little bit of detail. So in free-player game, one of the rules we always use is there are special kill point rules. You get kill points for killing opponents' units as normal, but you get the kill point if you kill the majority of the unit when it's wiped out. So if Nick's got a unit of 10, I kill 6 of them, Sai kills the remaining 4, I get the victory point because I killed the most of them. This is really helpful in that it means that Sai is less likely to want to kill Nick's units once I've damaged them. So if Nick's doing badly because I've hurt him, Sai is less likely to pick on him because he's got less reward to come. And it basically acts as a balancing mechanic. The other rules we're playing today is we are playing retrieval mission. So in the centre of the table, 6 inches between our deployment zones and the centre of the table, there are these crystal deposits. Basically, they're little pots with glass beads in. All these glass beads inside here can be picked up as relics. So at the end of any movement phase on your turn, you can, if one of your units is in base contact with any of those, they can pick one crystal out of there. It's a crystal sample. They can be carried around like relics with the exception that you can run while holding them, and there's a special where you can take them from opponents in assault. A unit can never hold more than 1 crystal at a time, so that's to stop you basically grabbing hundreds of them. At the end of each of your turns, you score a point for each crystal you carry, so held by the unit. It's not the normal relic rule where you have to control it like an objective, but at the end of the game, you score an additional point for every little crystal you control. So at the end of the game, you do control them like a relic, so you can be near your opponents and control it. Deployment methods, there's quite a complicated deployment method, but basically we have pegs on the table. Sai's deployment peg is down here. He gets to deploy within 12 inches of that, and you have to deploy only a couple of units, and the rest of your units you can roll on turn 1. So Sai's down there. He is deploying first, but he is also going first. Nick is deploying over there, you can see that peg, and he is going to go second. And I am deploying down here, and I am going last, unfortunately. As I said, you don't need to deploy your units on the table at the start of the game. Night fighting is always in effect, and now we're going to go for our armies. So we're playing 1250 points today. I am being led by this dark model here. I'm afraid he's one of my 2 unpainted models today, Asterath the Grim. He is leading a squad of 9 Death Company. There's 1 Power Fist in there. I've got quite a few tactical marines. This isn't a usual Blood Angel army how I like to play them. This is more how Games Workshop seem to want you to play them now. Lots of tactical marines. So I thought I'd give it a try. Why not? Can't really complain if I haven't tried it. So I've got 2 5-man squads, each with a melter gun and a combi melter. They're in Razorbacks, which are fast, and they've got las cannons and twin-link plasma guns. Then I have a squad of 10 tactical marines. They have a heavy flamer, a normal flamer, an upgraded veteran sergeant with a power sword, and they're in a rhino, which is again fast. I have a whirlwind. I have a dreadnought with twin-linked autocannons, and I have 3 bikes. The sergeant has nothing, but the other 2 guys are both armed with grav guns.
Okay, with the Necrons today, they're being led by an Overlord. He's equipped with the Void Reaper, Gauntlet of Fire, and a Phase Shifter. He's accompanied by 10 Immortals with Tesla guns. I have 2 squads of 10 warriors, one of which is in a Ghost Ark. I have 6 fully upgraded Tomb Blades. They're armed with the Particle Beamer. I have 2 Annihilation Barges and a Doomsday Ark.
Be hiding from that turn 1.
Right, and for the Orks, we are being led by a war boss with Power Claw on a bike. He's also got Cyborg Body and a boss pole as well. His Warlord trait is I get to re-roll 1 to wound or to hit roll each turn.
And you got a cap on, boss.
I got cap on as well. It was the thinking cap. It wasn't very thinky though.
No.
I got a 6 on the strategic, which I can't remember what he does now.
Pin at the start of one of your turns, boss.
Yeah, not useful. We also have a Pain Boy here on a bike to go with the war boss, and you guessed it, there'll be 6 bikers as well. So we've got 6 normal bikers. There's a couple of Space Marine bikes in there. I miscounted how many bikes I needed. We also have 2 battle wagons. Both are exactly the same. They've both got a ram, grot riggers, and a big shooter each. Inside one battle wagon is going to be 19 shooter boys. And they be having a knob with power core, boss pole, and that with him. And there's a little mech in there. We have another 19 shooter boys with just a normal knob. And they be having a big mech with that one, which he got heavy armor, cyborg body, boss pole, kill saw. I think that's all he's got.
All the gubbins.
He got everything. We have one little truckie there. We have 3 big mega knobs there. They have a boss pole and all. And we got 5 flash gits. We do like to be a bit flashy today, I think. See how they go.
Oh, close my eyes then, boss. So this is the layout at the start of the game, but there's no seizing the initiative in this, and night fighting is always on turn 1, just to make the first turn a little safer for all concerned, as you don't want it to swing that early. So Sai, getting to go first, has deployed all of his stuff. You can see he's got warriors up here on this deactivated landing pad. He's got his massive great cannon wagon. What's it called?
Doomsday Ark.
Doomsday Ark, which can see the centre of the table where the crystal deposits are. He's got his Lord and his Immortals there. He's got his other Ark over there. And you've held off your jet bikes and...
The 2 Annihilation barges.
Are they in normal reserve or are they in just come on turn 1?
They'll come on turn 1.
No problem. So Nick over there has got his 2 battle wagons. The nicely painted one has a big mech in. The other one just has the little mech and a proper knob in. And he's got his flash gits up on the tower. Because I'm going third, I'm cowering in this corner. Let's go past the beam. I have a dreadnought there with rifleman hiding in the corner, and I have my full tactical squad inside the Rhino there. They're not combat squadded this game because I don't want to give away too many victory points. So we score victory points for holding crystals at the end of our turns, controlling crystals into the game, and basically for killing enemy stuff. Let's see how we get on. Okay, so this is the end of game turn 1. We're doing videos slightly differently today. We're going to do a video at the end of a game turn because we just don't want to go on too late into the night. So, Sai, what did you do on your first turn? I'll point the camera, you describe.
Basically everything came on, moved forward. Doomsday Ark took a shot at one of Nick's battle wagons, but
Over
failed.
there, they were parked next to each other.
Didn't do any damage, but that was about it.
Yeah, and the rest of your stuff just moved forward into position. Nick, your turn.
I moved battle wagons up,
I
surrounding the
spread.
crystal thing.
You were too
spreading
cowardly to get out and grab a crystal, weren't you?
No,
Admit it, Nick. You were too cowardly, weren't you?
No, I don't want these special crystals.
cowardly.
I want your crystals.
Well, yeah, you will see.
Bikes come on at the back here, sort of around by the building.
Yep.
Waiting to see what happens sort of next turn. Truck with Mega Knobs
Yeah,
is
there's Mega Knobs.
parking
They're
up into the
camouflaged
woods.
well in that wood.
They are indeed. Shooting, the flash gets shot at Sai's warriors, and we took out 3 warriors.
Yep.
And took some pot shots with the battle wagons as well. Those snap firing.
Didn't do a lot.
No, Sai had 1 save to make from 6 shots, and he made it.
No problem. So on my turn, I thought I would be really brave. So I moved my Rhino forward to here. It's actually on the ground, but we'll see in a sec what happened to it. The tactical squad inside got out, ran forward, grabbed themselves a crystal, and then they used their run move, because we allow ourselves to run when you're holding a relic type object. So I ran backwards, and the plan was that this Rhino would then turbo boost and park itself in the way between me and Jai's Silent Cannon and me and Nick's battle wagons and things. Unfortunately, it immobilised itself at that point.
It kind of moved, and the tree
Yeah,
where it's floating up is actually...
Yeah, it moved onto a flexible tree which pinned it up in the air. The Grav Gun bikers did a better job. They moved on and they were just in range of the front of the battle wagon. They snapped off some shots at it. They weren't snap firing, they were just firing normally. And one got through and has immobilised the battle wagon, which I'm pretty pleased with. Over here, this rifleman shot at the side of the other battle wagon. Didn't get any joy. The Whirlwind has come on down here. It managed to tackle 2 of the Immortals, which is quite nice. Down here, I moved on a Rhino wall and have positioned my Death Company behind it. Sorry, a Razorback wall. They fired all of their shots over at the Annihilation barge over here. The first one fired and managed to get a penetrating hit, which got a crew stun, but due to Sai's cheesy formation-y thing he's using, he's immune to the crew stunned. And I also got a plasma gun shot through to knock a hull point off, so it's 2 hull points down. I fired the other one off, and even though it's twin-linked and stuff, it missed with all 3 of its rolled shots and did itself a hull point with his Gets Hot plasma gun. So not the best of results there. At the end of game turn 1, I am the only one who has a little bit of crystal, so I have 1 victory point compared to their 0. Losers! We'll see how I'm doing at the end of the game. So this is, again, game turn 2. Sai, what happened in your turn?
Well, it started off really well.
That it did. We were quite worried.
Managed to take out both of the Razorbacks.
It's not a pretty sight down here, my wall.
Also took out one of the Marines that was in the Razorbacks.
Yep.
And I took out the Orc truck over the other side.
Yeah, there. And you pinned the Meganobs inside and they failed
Yeah.
their, what's that table called? The
Mob
table
rule.
everyone hates. The mob rule table, they're pinned, which really screwed Nick's turnover. And
Yeah.
you got a load of intact stuff at the back there, haven't
Yeah.
you?
I haven't
You've
touched
moved
any of
forward.
this stuff there.
And then we'll get to what happened down here. All right, so Nick, quick brief turn summary for yourself.
Meganobs were pinned, so they couldn't do anything. They've just basically stood up. So the bikers have come flying around to try and help protect them, but there's all the firepower down there. So
Yeah,
let's see.
you haven't dented Si at all there.
No,
I
I
fear
haven't
for your bikes over there. They might be able to survive,
No.
but you've got the Meganobs and the bikes there, so
Yeah.
it's unlikely you can kill all of both.
No, Flash gets killed one more warrior because there was
Yep.
only 2 in range, but there's one more. Orcs got out of the battle wagon that was immobilised. The knobs picked up a crystal, and they only got to run 2 inches, so they're not there. But I lost.
Yeah, so you've got a crystal there.
Yeah, and the other orcs there stayed inside that battle wagon and shot
They
at,
did.
at some of your marines. Which
Yes, my Marines
got
that were
out.
down here, they're still alive there. They're in the Rhino for when we get to my turn. But you killed my Sergeant with the crystal, so he dropped it, and I think
Yeah.
you killed one other Marine. Oh, no, you didn't. You
Uh,
just killed the Sarge.
No,
No,
I've got 2.
My
Oh,
Doomsday Ark killed.
Oh,
some
yes,
of them
that's
as
it.
well.
The Doomsday Ark decided, it was going to fire over there, and it killed, I think, 3 of them.
It killed
Yeah.
3 and I've killed
Yeah.
2.
So it wasn't good. My poor Marines, that's why they're now carrying a Rhino. So on to my turn. My shooting was pretty ineffectual. My grab bikers tried to immobilise that, didn't. My Dreadnought tried to shoot it, didn't hurt it. My Whirlwind down there. What did I shoot that at? Oh, I
Killed
shot
an
it at
orc.
Orcs. I killed a single Orc. Really bad rolling. The Space Marines are down here, have retreated into their Rhino because they couldn't get to anything to assault or attack it with a weapon. So they thought, get inside the box, it'll be safer. These guys, who are refugees from Sizer Razorback Carnage from last turn, they're moving up, but it's going to take them a while to get anywhere. Over here, these heroic guys, they managed to sprint forward from their wreckage, unloaded both their melter guns, and managed to take down the jinking Annihilation barge. Then the best bit of the turn came, my Death Company. So I'd sacrificed these two, kind of, so my Death Company didn't get blown to kingdom shite by that big thing over there. They leapt over it and managed to get a charge in on the Tesla Immortals. They didn't do very well on their Overwatch, and we steamed in. 40 attacks, re-rolling to hits, re-rolling to wounds. Just about managed to kill the Immortals, but it was the last one,
Yeah.
didn't it? You were one save away from saving them all, saving the last one. Astrath had challenged Size Overlord. We got into a bit of a punching match. He hit me twice. I managed to make both my invulnerable saves. I hit him. He failed both of his invulnerable saves, and one of mine was a 6, which is an instant death wound. Si made his resurrection protocols and got a 4 on each of them, and we thought, damn, didn't hurt any. But then I remember that they get -1 against instant death attacks. So he is dead. The Warlord has fallen over. So at the end of game turn 2, what are the victory points on the doors, Si?
Nick has 1 victory point.
Oh dear,
Yeah.
Nick.
I have 3, and you have 6.
6! Jesus, that squad there was worth 3 VPs for me killing it.
Yeah.
And because I've got a crystal over here as well,
You've
and
had-
I
you've
killed
had a-
that.
yeah, you've had
So
a
that was
crystal
a
too,
good.
so-
I didn't realise it was quite that good. Excellent. Let's see how Si responds. I suspect it will be with guns. Okay, so it is now end of turn 3. The phone's going to run out of batteries in a sec. So quickly, Si, what happened on your turn?
I can't remember.
I think you
Shot.
shot at me down here, but it was quite unsuccessful.
Yes.
Yes, very unsuccessful shot in there. He shot and killed a few
I
bikers and everything.
killed 4 bikers there.
Oh yeah, you butchered the bikes on your turn
Yeah.
over there. There was only...
I got rid of
took
one
half
of one
of
of the
them.
Death Guard.
Yep.
I
And you
killed
fired your
a-
big shot over there.
I
You killed a
killed
few
4
orcs,
orcs,
and
yeah.
you immobilised this battle wagon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But other than that, it wasn't the best of turns.
No.
Nick, your
Uh,
turn very quickly.
Me, Meganobs come out, charged in, killed the Annihilation Barge.
Yep.
Bikers came in, killed
You called
the...
your war, didn't
I called
you?
my wild as well. To, just to
His
help
daughter's
out.
asleep downstairs, so it wasn't a very good war. It was
No,
very
no.
muted.
Obviously, the bikers came on, took out the other little fly jet bike
Two
things.
blades.
But they're quite wounded, your bike, and I think 3
Yeah.
of them have taken a wound.
He's taken a wound, he's taken a wound, and the boss has taken a wound. So there's
Uh-huh.
only one.
That bike's taken a wound, meaning he's dead, because they're not actually not bikers, which I was
I know.
thinking.
That's true.
So there's only 3 bikers left there. Your dudes have walked down a
They've
hill.
walked down. They've walked down the thing because there's nothing in range, so they're sort of starting to come
But over
out.
here is your cunning plan.
The big mech has separated himself from the orc unit, so he's
Yep.
picked another crystal up.
Yeah, so this
and
orc
he's-
unit has a crystal, that orc unit has a crystal, and over here this Orc Nob still has a crystal.
Yes, the Orcs got out of the battle wagon, went over, we charged into the bikes and killed the bike
Yep,
unit.
killed all the bikes.
Obviously picking the crystal up in the thing. And that was my turn, basically.
So, my turn, I decided there was 20 Orcs amongst me, so my Dreadnought charged in after firing. These 5 guys got out and flamed the squad. The 5 guys that were down here walked forward, shot with their bolt pistols, charged in. After all of that, we butchered a ton of Orcs. The mob rule killed another 3. There's a Nob on 1 wound, and there are 2 Orcs left. So hopefully I can mop them up with a Dreadnought. Over here, I managed to spread out my Death Company. They picked up a treasure, a crystal, but then they assaulted that. They rolled really high on their assault, meaning he moved over 6 inches, meaning he had to drop his crystal because you can't move a relic more than 6 inches. So it's left on the floor, so I didn't score that point. And these guys moved up there and they tried to melter it, but to little success. So what are the scores at the end of turn 3, Si?
I'm on 3. Nick and Curly are joint on 7.
Okay.
I had a very good turn.
Let's see how we get on. This is the end of turn 4. So, Si, what did you do in your turn? You didn't have many units.
I took out a couple more Space Marines.
Yeah, I had a squad of 4. There's now only a squad of 2.
I took out the last bike from a group of bikers.
Yes, that gave you a VP.
And that was about it, I think.
Yeah, all of your forces now concentrated on the top of the sky shield, aren't they?
Yep.
So, Nick, your turn.
Flash gets moved towards the crystals.
Yep.
The war boss has broken away because he's zoomed down to try and grab a crystal. The pain boys just linked up with the mega knobs so
That he hasn't. They're slowly moving.
So they've moved forward. These Orc boys moved forward a little bit.
And shot up my Space Marines. They
Yes,
took out 3 of them.
Fortunately, the heavy flamers were left. And
Yep.
I stayed in combat for a bit.
Oh, yeah.
I'll let you get back to that one.
I'll
Your
do
turn.
that one in a sec. Oh, Si, did you add on my 2 VPs for my 2
that
crystals
one?
at the end of the
No.
turn? Okay, so then on my turn there was still these Orcs here. I thought in Nick's turn I would have killed them all, but Nick made 2 T-shirt saves versus my Dreadnought, which was really bad. So then on my turn I mopped up the 3 Orcs that were remaining there, but the Nob is still left on 1 wound. So I've got 2 dudes left in there, a Dreadnought and a normal Space Marine, so hopefully I can kill him first as I've got initiative. My Whirlwind over there, my Storm Bolter here, and my 2 Flamers here did a right number on this big squad of Orcs. There were loads of them, but they were packed in because they had run really badly on their run rolls.
Yeah.
So I managed to flame down the Nob and they ran off. So they got less than 25%, so they only need double 1 to get back in the game.
The other thing for my turn, my big mech jumped into
Oh
the
yeah,
battle
the big
wagon.
mech is in there. Nick has 3 bits of crystal, I think, or
No,
had.
I lost one.
Ah,
now,
yes,
so.
but you're about to pick up another. So over here, Astroff left his squad, leapt down and joined this squad, because he was then just in range to pick up a crystal, so he got a crystal. These guys also picked up a crystal. The rest of the Death Company leapt up there, thought we'll munch through some Necron warriors. Wasn't quite as good as I'd thought. I rolled pretty bad. I killed 3 of them, or 2 of them in fact, not very many. And now Si's going to start resurrecting them using his Ghost Heart, which isn't good. So what are the scores on the door side at the end of turn 4?
Turn 4, I'm on 4 points. Curly, you're on 9. And Nick is on 10.
Nick is on 10. It's those crystals are doing it. Okay, let's see how we get
So-
on. It is turn 5. Si, what happened? You don't know a whole lot to explain.
Well, I killed a Meganob,
You did.
finally.
And you made 2 new warriors.
Yeah. That annoyed Curly slightly.
Yeah, and then I killed 1.
No, you killed 2.
I killed 2. So that was your amazing turn.
Yep.
Nick, your turn. What was your plans?
I made a 10-inch charge into a Ghost Heart.
Yeah, so that gave you that VP, which was
and
pretty
it was basically
solid.
just getting as many crystals as I could.
Mm.
The only thing you might have shot at other things differently if I did separate the war boss.
I would have put more. I would have shot at him with this
Yeah.
Dreadnought if you hadn't.
Yeah, so it would have been possibly having to separate
Yeah.
the war boss. So I ended up with just getting 1 crystal with them. Although whether you would have been able to see him because of the battle wagon, because I was trying to hold him back. But anyway.
Because I was close. I was going to climb
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
was
yeah.
my plan.
We basically I finished off a couple of Space Marines that were around.
Yep.
And eventually lost the combat, unfortunately.
Yeah, so you got VPs from those Space Marines, though.
Yeah.
And then, your Nob died down here, so you got
Yeah.
VPs. You had 1 crystal with a mech in there and 1 crystal back
there,
there.
and I got 2 VPs on my turn for killing stuff. Then your turn.
And then on my turn, I decided I had to kill. And Nick was 4 ahead. I have 3 crystals, 1 there. This Space Marine went and grabbed 1, and the Dreadnought ripped the 1 out of the Nob's hands in close combat. So he has a crystal, as you can see it on his base down there. So he charged up and fired into the side of a battle wagon, did 2 hull points, and the melter gun obviously missed, and then the melter gun failed its charge on the battle wagon, but the dreadnought waded in and clubbed the battle wagon with his autocannon arms and managed to deal another whole point to it, so it gave me a VP for killing that. And then up here, Astrath, seeing the Death Company making really slow progress of killing Necron warriors, leapt up there and chopped up the remaining 3 Necron warriors with his power axe, so gaining me that VP. And then we decided to call it end of the day because it's quite late and it's really cold in Nick's loft. So we now need to add up scores for end of the game. I control 1, 2, 3 crystals, so that's 3 extra VPs.
I control 2.
You control 2. Just measuring something. Not quite. If that crystal was slightly closer, you could have controlled an extra 1. But not quite. So Nick controlled 2. So what are the scores on the doors at the end of the game, Si?
Would it have been 2?
I'll explain in a sec why you can't do that bit.
Well, I've got an amazing 4. After being butchered by 2 other armies.
Yeah, because you went first. I think we were both a bit petrified by the amount of firepower you had, so we both sent a tendril out sideways, didn't we?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I sent out mega knobs that stood there in front of all size stuff. So Si just took out. So Si didn't.
And they
have
have so much fire. You lost 1 mega knob all game.
So then Si only had the truck to shoot at, and then he just had them to concentrate, and then bikes sort of just.
Things we said, the Necrons struggle for AP too, don't they? So the mega knobs were a real issue.
Well, the only AP2 I had was on the opposite side of the
Yeah,
board.
it was on that giant thing that I was petrified of.
Well, Nick has 16. And Curly has 18.
Oh, close in the end there, mate.
Yeah, it was in the end because you finished off the battle wagon and having that 1 extra crystal because of the knob.
That's it.
It was if for somehow you managed to fail killing that knob and I could have killed your marine.
Yeah, that's it.
That was it.
One more round if that had gone on.
And
yeah,
if we rolled to see if game ended,
the game would have ended.
The game would have ended.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm glad that happened. So, Si, what did you think of your new Necrons as they're kind of like the interesting thing on the table, even though we kind of attacked them?
He attacked us first.
He did, I think, because we didn't have much firepower. We weren't so scared. We were kind of like, Nick was there and I was there, and we didn't really want to encroach onto the middle because we knew the other person would get the charge.
Kind of
so then
came
we went
to a stalemate and didn't want to approach each other.
We went for the easy option of charge the Necrons. But yeah, some of your new units seem really powerful though.
I like what they've done. The jet bikes are fantastic.
Yeah, they seem phenomenal for their
considering
points.
they've come down in price as well.
Yeah.
The whole book as a whole just looks a lot better.
The Ghost Ark I really liked with the salvo weapons. I mean, it can get twice as many shots as it used to at certain ranges.
Well, that with the warriors inside was throwing out a lot of fire.
Yeah, it was doing a lot of damage.
They were, unfortunately, because it was mega knobs that they were shooting at, it was...
Yeah, but with the amount of shots it was throwing out, it should have done more.
Although technically they didn't fire the mega knobs much, it fired at the bikers and wiped them out. Really.
I mean, wiped out the truck early on and such as well. My two Las Plaz Razorbacks did not last long. I kind of sacrificed them to save the Death Company. Yeah, I like what they've done with making the big gun cheaper, because it just needed to be cheaper, and it's slightly more effective as well than it was.
It's strong. The Doomsday Ark is stronger, and it's slightly cheaper.
Yeah, so you can't complain when they do that to a unit, can you?
I mean, most of the time it just sits back and just fires. It doesn't go anywhere. Yeah,
I mean, the only thing the Necrons still suffer with is like the Annihilation Barges and that with their range.
Yeah, that's it. He had to move close, and when you had bikers who can move 12, I had jump pack who can move 12, so it was really easy for us to get in combat with them. The Death Company were really good when they charged. When they weren't charged, they're Space Marines, which isn't so clever.
Yeah.
Yeah, without Astaroth there, I probably would have held off.
Yeah, I think you probably would.
Yeah, I think if Astaroth hadn't joined that,
the formation that Si was using, the Juciron or whatever it's called, giving you +1 bonus to all your resurrection protocols, is like a 4+ across the board as an extra save. That's really powerful.
Really useful,
Yeah, but I think if that combat had gone on, as I say, it was a couple of bits towards the end. Considering if you think the first 2 turns, it was like you're on 6 size going to see me there, and there's me on 0. And then
you had that one time you gained 6 in one phase, didn't you? It was just
that was it. The Orks just went.
Yeah, right, you called your war and gained loads of VPs.
We're in combat now. Come on.
Okay, well, I think we're going to call it a day there because I am pretty cold at this point.
The only thing I possibly would have changed in my army is maybe taking the flash kits out, and I should have replaced them with the looters.
I love the flash kit models, but I think their range is a bit poor for them.
Yeah, I wanted to try and max. I was thinking for this game,
Yeah.
I was thinking a lot of us might try and get into the middle, and I was thinking infantry in there. They could pour.
And one of the reasons I didn't pour straight into the middle was because they were up there, so they kind of did the job there.
Yeah,
but I think the looters are just more effective as a unit.
Yeah, and the longer range, I could have shot at size warriors.
And they can hurt vehicles because you were early on. Si had all his vehicles and things nearby, and you were like, "Well, they're in range, couldn't hurt them."
Yeah.
Armor 13 on all the Necron vehicles.
Mm.
Okay, well, thanks for watching, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Good game.
Bye.